A kangaroo is capable of jumping to a height of 2.60 meters. Determine the takeoff speed of the kangaroo. Now, takeoff speed is kind of something that takeoff speed can be kind of confusing. So let's draw a picture. Let's draw a picture of a kangaroo as it jumps up and down. Now, in the question, we're given a couple bits of information. We are told that the kangaroo is able to jump displacement in the y, where it is able to jump 2.62 meters. And that's the only information that we're given. But do we know something about kangaroo here? Velocity final is 0 meters per second. And because we're on Earth, we know that acceleration due to gravity is a very specific number, negative 9.8 meters per second squared. The thing, takeoff though, is how fast the kangaroo leaves the ground. So that's initial velocity. So we're told velocity final is 0 meters per second. We know that the kangaroo is moving in the y direction at 2.62 meters. And we know that the acceleration due to gravity is negative 9.8 meters per second squared. We want to know velocity initial, and that's in meters per second. The equation that involves all of those things is velocity final squared minus velocity initial squared equals 2 times acceleration times displacement. Alright, so now let's replace numbers for letters. Our velocity final squared is 0 squared minus, we don't know what our initial velocity is, minus velocity initial squared minus velocity initial squared. That whole thing is equal to 2 times the acceleration, which is negative 9.8, times displacement, which is 2.62. Alright, so 0 squared is 0, so that blows up, giving us a negative velocity initial squared equals, and I can dump all of this side into my calculator, and I get a negative 51.352. Here's the thing, there's a negative here and a negative here. So I'm going to divide by negative 1 in order to get rid of the negatives. The reason is you try taking the square root of a negative number, things get yucky very, very quickly. So velocity initial squared equals 51.352. In order to get rid of the square, I'm going to take the square root of this side and the square root of this side. And velocity initial equals 7.166 meters per second. Alright, I have 3 sig figs here, and actually this is the only number that I can use in my final answer. And so I get a velocity initial of 7.17 meters per second.